it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and welcome to card number 4 in the Countdown to Christmas card series. We're going to be using an image in the Cricut and altering it to make it what we want it to be. So here's the image that we're going to end up with, and I am going to go through the Cricut, and I typed in the word house, and I found this house. It is image M as in Mary, 3-5, D as in dog, 3-7. So I'm going to insert that image, and then we are going to copy it. You're going to get rid of all the other layers with the exception of the very light gray layer. And then once that's done, we're going to insert a shape. So we're going to insert a square, unlock it, and we are going to cut off the top. So the roof is just going to stop right there. So I'm going to unlock it so I can create a rectangle. Going to select both of those pieces, select slice, and then we can get rid of that dark rectangle that we had. And then you want to keep the two roof lines. It doesn't matter which one you did. And then you are going to go and do the contour. You're going to get rid of that little chimney piece and keep the top piece. Now you could keep either one of them, the dark or the light. It doesn't really matter. So the next thing you're going to do is get down to the red layer. So you want to get rid of all of the other layers, and then you just want to have the red. So the first thing we wanted to do, we wanted to copy it so we could just get the doors. I'm going to end up using 4 doors in the end, but I used 3 right here. Then I'm going to take the roof and then the bottom piece of the motel, select both of them and weld them together, and then copy the red roof and just get the triangle so we can put the triangle on there so we know that works. Then the next part we want to do is we want to fill in that little spot because now we've moved the roof line over to be centered, but we have that spot in the middle. So what you can do is insert a square, unlock it, make it a rectangle, make it the same level as the rest of the roof, weld those two together, and voila, you now have a full roof. And no one would ever know that the initial image that you started off with, this is what you made it from that original image. So I love doing this kind of stuff. I love altering images to fit what I need. So next thing I want to do is put Motel in there because if you haven't guessed, this is for a very popular show. And we are making the motel, and we are also going to be using stamps from Kindred stamps to create this scene. So I inserted text, and we're going to use just basic Arial black to type the font of the motel in there. And I'm just resizing it and then cut it out. And here is the base. I hope that was a good explanation. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. I can do a more in-depth walk, through step by step of that process. So now we are using a honeybee stamps stencil called Shiplap. This is for the house builder add-ons for, I believe this one was the farmhouse one. But anyway, we're using that with some antique linen to create some siding. Now I know this is kind of creative licensing. This isn't exactly what the motel looks like in the show. However, I think that it was, you can figure it out. So once I've done all of the siding on there, I've had to ink the stencil up twice because it didn't go all the way across. So once I did that, the next thing that we are going to do is get ready to add the roof on. So this is the roof that we created, and I'm just going to use some ATG on the back of this holographic red paper. I have had this in my stash for so long, and I've been hoarding it, and I thought this was the perfect project to use it on. I think that it makes it look really neat and very Christmassy, and I know that that's not exactly the way it is in the show, but it is red, and I just happen to love this. The next thing that I'm going to do is put the other roof piece on, and we're going to use some MFT On Point Precision Glue to glue that down, as well as glue the 4 doors down. Now I know that when we initially did the image, there were only 3 doors. I actually cut 4 doors out because this is a 5x7 card. I initially was going to do a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I actually end up doing a 5x7 card because the 4 main characters were really smushed when I added in some of the other things that I did. So, and again, guys, if I didn't explain the whole process of altering the image for the Cricut, if I went too fast or if there was something that you guys aren't sure of, please leave a comment and I will actually I can do a whole video, slower, step by step, telling you guys how to, alter an image. I can pick a different one. I can use this, whatever you want. So I took the word motel and I basically made it stretch across that whole top layer, because that's pretty much how it is in the show. And I used that same exact holographic red, and I just think it looks so cool. And that was from a house, if you remember that first house image. Okay, so I also cut out a tree as well as some Christmas lights. I altered the Christmas lights. I actually put a couple of them together to do the lights that are going to go on the bottom layer of the card. But now I'm inking up with some pine needles distress oxide, just inking up the sides of the tree just to give it a little bit of depth. This green paper with the white snow behind it is from a Michael's Recollection pack that I've had forever, probably forever. It's one of their Christmas packs. I think it was like one of the Hot Buy ones. So this, again, like I said, this is a 5x7 card base, and it is a piece of red cardstock, the 65-pound Recollections that I just cut down to make a 5x7 card base. I'm using my ATG to glue down the motel. And I made it a 5x7 also because I wanted to have a little bit of ground for the characters to stand on and have a little bit of space for the tree that was on there. So you're going to see I put the tree to the left-hand side. I had a little bit more room. The way I spaced the doors out, I had more room on the left side than I did on the right. So that's why I did it. Now we're going to take these lights that I strung together, and I think it's 3 sets of lights. You can see everywhere where the point goes up, that's another set of lights that I just welded together and attached and welded together and then cut out. So we're going to do one string of 3 sets of lights on the bottom, and then the 1 string of 3. That's initially what it looked like. I welded all those together. So now you can see my 4 main images. I'm just trying to place them on the front just to see where they're all going to go and make sure the tree has enough room. And I Copic colored them off screen, and I feel like I put the tree on the right side. I thought I put it on the left. I made this card. This was for Christmas in July, so I made this at the very, very end of July. So it's, it's taken me a little bit of time. I don't really remember what I did. So I colored the images with Copic markers off screen, and I took their personalities and tried to think, what colors would they wear? So the mom, I felt like she would be very regal in green. The brother, definitely black because that's all he wears. The sister, red and green, and the dad probably because blues for maybe Hanukkah, let's say, because in the show he is Jewish. So I did put the tree on the right side. I really thought that I put it on the left. So interesting. So now I took some of the glitter glue that I've had forever. This is either from Joann's or Michael's, and I just used them. I think I did every other light bulb. Yep, every other light bulb. And I just wanted them to shine and have a little bit of sparkle, but I didn't want them to be competing with the red roof. So I thought that red was different enough and it wasn't too much with the roof. So I did those, and then I'm trying to think the other color. Did I do green? Yes, we'll find it. Yes, I did. I did a darker green. Now I have a bunch of greens, and again, these are super old, so you see me using both of my hands because I think that I was having a difficult time squeezing the glitter glue out. Like I said, they're pretty old. So wanted to keep it with more traditional Christmas colors. So this was for a card swap, and it was a Christmas in July, and the theme was take a non-Christmas stamp and make it Christmas. So I thought that that's exactly what this would be, was that, I thought that that would be really cute if I use this stamp set. I hadn't used this before, and I love this show. It is my absolute favorite show. So I just had to use it. So now I am taking some of the Nuvo drops and just putting little circles down like Christmas ornaments on that tree, like they decorated the tree out in front of the motel. And I just thought that would, just added a nice touch. Added some blues in there and whites because I wanted to tie in the dad's suit a little bit. And that was, those were the colors that I picked out. And I think those might have been colors that were on my desk. So I'm just taking the back of the card and tapping it just to make sure that the Nuvo drops form in circles and they don't have that little point on the end that sometimes drops like this can get. So that is pretty much the card. I mean, it was, I went back and I think I put a little bit of white on there on the tree. And it was such a fun card to do. It was such a fun challenge. If you guys don't know about Kindred Stamps, they have awesome stamp sets for pop culture things. They have TV, movies, so many characters that you probably know and love. Oh, I'm sorry. Here I put snow on the roof. That was the one thing that I wanted to add and make it look like snow. I hope that looks like snow and it doesn't look like icing is melting on there. I was trying to make it look like icicles coming off of the roof. So I did that for both the top and the bottom just to give it a little bit more. I probably should have put a little snow on the ground, but is what it is. I think that it came out really cute. I was really proud of this card, and it did take me a really long time to do this card. I sped this up I sped it up a lot, and I also did all of the coloring off camera, and I sped up the Cricut stuff, and I cut out some of the editing stuff that I had to do. It took me a little while to figure out how to do it. So that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are two pictures, one of the outside and one of the inside. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll see you again real soon for another video.